Okay, hello, good evening. I am always happy to do these monthly product calls. And I mean, they really fuel me, which is something that, why we decided we were going to start doing monthly product calls. And it's just good information for anybody on the team. And then we record these and then you can share them with other people, and we always have them as a resource. So what I'm going to do is I am going to, okay, first, I like to do this at the beginning of the, so I just want, and just make sure you guys mute yourself as you come in. Okay, so anything that I talk about, these statements haven't been evaluated by the FDA, and any of our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent diseases. So I do like to start these calls out with that, and it just gives me a little bit more free reign, and you'll know when I'm talking about my opinion. But so all right, now. Okay. Oh, good Lord. Okay. Here we go. I love talking about the products, and I actually like to think about it as a fun way to share the information in a way with all of you. And I really love that something that Jen Leah said on another product call that we did. So she said, our products can help so many people if we're willing to take the time to understand the why, stay committed to them, and then tweak the way we use them. And so I just love that. And it makes so much sense. And one of the things that I think about is that in order to, get the products working for you the best, it really requires conversation and the willingness for all of you to be able to learn and educate and tweak the way you use their products. There are things that I will still tweak 6.5 years in. So, and what I love about it is we're all here to support this community, and our goal is your success. We want everyone on our team to be successful with their products, with the opportunity, if that's what they have, and really honestly with our community. So XFactor Plus is the multivitamin redefined. That's how I like to talk about it. And it really brings all of your overall health to the next level. That's how I think about it. If you don't think that your multivitamin is making a difference, that's what I tell people, then you haven't tried ours, because it does. And multivitamins in general fill a nutritional gap. That's what they are for. There's some vitamins that we can get in our diet, and there's some vitamins that we can't. And as you'll hear later on, because I'm just going to throw out a bunch of different things, it's not only vitamins, but our multivitamin has minerals, which are super important, which I think people don't think about enough or talk about. And okay, so I'm going to point out just a couple neat things about what makes our multivitamin different. So one of them is that we have, it is, okay, so first of all, it is, right, the most bioavailable and most bioactive. That's what I tell people. So bioavailability is really just a term used for absorption rate. It can be fully used by the body better, and so therefore it gets into our system and we can use it better. Okay, bioactive is really just means that is a substance that is most beneficial for our health. So, I mean, you just can't beat being bioavailable and bioactive. So And I tell people, you are not what you eat, but you are what you absorb. That's just my personal belief. Okay. So we need to be able to absorb it. So now I'm going to go into the next point that I really love, that, one of the reasons that ours is better, our multivitamin. And I tell people, I will fight you to the end over our multivitamin, because it truly is the best out there, and I'll duel it out with anyone. I it's just what I say. So we have methylated folate, okay, in it. So when something is methylated, what it means is that it's in a form that your body can already utilize. It doesn't have to metabolize it into something else. So that's really cool, right? I mean, we'll get to absorb it better, faster, all of those things. So, and it's methylated folate. It's not folic acid, because there's at least 39% of the population that can't actually utilize folic acid. You've heard about, and it kind of sounds like a swear word, it's like the methyfer, gene mutation, MTHFR. So the methylated folate is what we call 5-MTHF. So that's great. So we've got folate, not folic acid, and it's methylated. So we're going to get the most out of it, the most active form that our body can use. We also have methylated B12 in it. So a lot of people talk about B12. It can give you a boost of energy. And so again, it is tissue ready and easy to process, okay, by the liver, okay? So we're, again, gonna utilize it right away. And our vitamin also has vitamin K1 and K2. That's really hard to find in foods or even some supplements, let alone the most bioavailable, right? And vitamin K1 and K2 is good for cardiovascular and bone health. So I just absolutely love that. Now, one of the other things that that we talk about that are really thought out, honestly, in all of our products, but I really like it in this multivitamin, because if you, side note, if you read the information sheet, it's 9 pages long and it has every single ingredient in there, and it just gives you so much information. So one of the things I like about our supplements is, okay, so everybody needs vitamin D. I think I read like 89% of the population doesn't get enough vitamin D. So anyway, so we need vitamin D, but in order for vitamin D to absorb, you need calcium. And in order to absorb vitamin D and calcium, you need magnesium. Well, guess what? You can buy 60 different supplements, try and put them together, get your body to use them the way they need to, or you can buy our multivitamin. So that's another reason that I really love it. It is well thought out. All of our products are well thought out. Okay. Also, we have got, so some people will say, I don't see a lot of iron, or there's not iron in there. I really need iron. I'm anemic. Well, guess what? We have got New Zealand black currant in it. And that is a naturally occurring form of iron. So I think that's pretty cool that we can get our iron through that. So there's been a lot of people on our team who have testimonies that they used to be anemic, and once they start taking Triplex and XFactor Plus, they're good. Okay. So, I like I said, I've heard people say, oh, well, there's not really enough iron in there. Well, what we have in there works, and there are other minerals that help as well. Okay. Now, I love
Cheryl, what was that? New Zealand black what?
Black currant extract.
Currant. Okay.
Yeah, black currant. Yeah. So this, I always like to throw out a fun fact. You know me, extra credit, fun facts, all of that. So vitamin C is very important. I think pretty much everybody has heard of vitamin C, knows of it, will take it at some point in their life. It's a great antioxidant, right? It helps us with a healthy immune system. And what's really cool is that our vitamin C is different, okay? So a lot of people talk about, oh, I just pee out my vitamins, right? Well, this is one reason that it's super cool. So this is a dual soluble vitamin C. It's got a fat soluble and water soluble side of the molecule, so you don't pee it out. Okay, so that's what I absolutely love it. So that allows it to actually be incorporated into our cells, so our cell membranes. I mean, like, that is super cool. So that's my nerdy fact for the day. And what I love about the vitamin C is it protects us from oxidative stress and just free radicals that we encounter in our environment and in our bodies and all of that. And most people know there's vitamin E in it as well. That also is fat soluble. That's going to help with immunity. It's an antioxidant, and that protects the cells as well. And okay, let's just talk some basics. Okay, now XFactor Plus has 19 essential vitamins and 50 trace minerals. Okay, I told you, most bioavailable, most bioactive. The calcium that actually is in XFactor Plus is the most optimal calcium for absorption. So again, they look at all of that. It's got the full spectrum B complex. All 8 essential B vitamins are in XFactor Plus. And in the same vein as talking about you are what you absorb, XFactor Plus has aloe vera, the inner leaf of it, and that increases absorption rate by 300%. So you're really absorbing the vitamins that you're taking, and it helps absorb the food that you're eating, the vitamins in the food that you're eating. So I think that's pretty cool. And so one of the other things, and this is a little bit of extra credit as well, is that I will take my Mega X, our omegas, our plant-based omegas, with my XFactor Plus. I used to take it at night, and sometimes I think, oh, I could take more at night or whatever. I mean, again, there's nothing wrong with it, but it increases that absorption of the Mega X when you take it with XFactor Plus. So that was one of the things I changed along the way, and it seems to work really well. Something else about XFactor Plus is it's actually working on our gut health, a multivitamin that works on our gut health. It has a microbiome activating complex. So it's increasing the beneficial bacteria. And they actually did a study that proves this, and it's in the information sheet. So they wanted to see, is it improving gut health? And indeed it does. XFactor Plus is full of polyphenols, which are really powerful antioxidants. Guess what? XFactor Plus is, with these polyphenols and everything else I've been talking about, it's antioxidant, antiviral, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory. You get all of this in the multivitamin, okay? We've got grapeseed and apple fruit extract. We've got cranberry fruit powder. Like I said, black currant fruit extract. And so, goodbye. So the grapeseed and the apple fruit extract, really, let's just say goodbye hot flashes. We can claim that it reduces menopause symptoms. It says so in the information sheet. It's part of all those things that we can share. And, so it helps support any of those symptoms that, that women have. It also supports healthy bones and muscle function. All right. And again, some of that is the calcium, some of that is the minerals. It supports healthy thyroid function. And all this that I'm telling you, like, you can share, like it says it. And it also, it helps with our skin. So it's like skin, nails, hair. You could get a glow to your skin. It's just good. It brightens the skin, and it also helps with maintaining healthy collagen levels. All right. And it also promotes, again, because of this B complex, it promotes mental clarity, and they even refer to it as energy yielding metabolism. So I mean, just like, it just goes on and on. It helps support healthy blood pressure levels. So the vitamin is good for that as well. And it also supports healthy eyes and night vision. And also supports cardiovascular health. So when someone says to you, I take a multivitamin, I say, girl, you don't take the multivitamin. Like, and then you say, does yours do this, like, I'm telling you, I'll battle it out with you. So one of the things, now I did a impromptu power hour one Thursday, and we didn't record it, but I was talking a little bit about, the XFactor Plus and your thyroid function. So yes, it helps support a healthy thyroid function, but I have time to kind of explain this. This is one of the things that I love to tell people, and really kind of gives you a little bit of a better understanding about, why it supports that and helps with any menopause symptoms. So when we drink our pink drink balances our blood sugar. Our insulin is our master hormone. Okay. It's the driver. It's the leader of the pack. Okay. When that gets in line, okay, then all the other hormones start to follow. Okay. And so your estrogen, your progesterone, your estrogen, your progesterone, your cortisol, your thyroid. Wow, that's funny. I have that memorized. Your estrogen, your progesterone, your testosterone, your cortisol, and your thyroid. There we go. I was forgetting about the testosterone, which we need as well. So they all line up, and that's why your thyroid function is much better with adding in, we'll tell people with the triplex, add in the XFactor Plus. So it just helps with hormones overall. Okay, so the other thing, so let's talk about taking it. So there's been discussions on when to take it, how to take it, all of that. Now, they recommend that you take XFactor Plus with food. Okay, not everybody does. I'm just going to give you why they say it's recommended, and then I'm going to say that it only works if you put it in your body. Okay, so if you forget to take it with food, guess what? It's better if you just take it, okay, than not take it at all. And that's what I love, the flexibility of our products. So it really works well with food because the pH, when you're eating, the pH in your body, in your stomach changes, and it boosts that ability to digest food and absorb nutrients. So that's why they say that you should take it with food. I take mine in the afternoon, because of that. I used to take it at night, and then again, I switched at some point to taking it then. You can also take it at night, and people will still feel, so I feel like I get that B12 definitely during the day when I'm taking it. Other people say even though they take it at night, it doesn't keep them up, but some people it does. Okay, you have to watch for the B complex keeping them up. But people will say they take it at night, but they still feel that energy throughout the day, that they notice that. So you kind of just have to pay attention. And if you're somebody who, or your customers, or somebody who, you know, the stomach has some issues with being able to take the vitamins, right? Because X Factor Plus is powerful. Then what you can do, again, it helps with food and plenty of water as well. But also you can take maybe like one in the afternoon and then one in the evening, or one in the morning and one in the afternoon. Split them up if taking two at one time is too much. Let's see, what else? And you know, I really feel like, so there are two different times in my, you know, Plexus supplements routine where I had changes with X Factor Plus. So originally I was on estrogen when I started Plexus over 6 years ago. And I, at the, you know, again, before Plexus, I was like, give me the estrogen, I've got hot flashes. And I didn't care what the side effects were. But I stopped taking the estrogen, started taking the X Factor Plus. For me, it was about 2 months until I didn't have hot flashes anymore. But I have several customers that say 2 weeks in, yep, I notice I'm good. And so that was really the first time that X Factor Plus was life-changing to me. Then I kind of changed some things up, and I really wanted to beef up my immunity, that part, because everybody, I think, has a weakness in their system. And I've learned mine was I would get bronchitis, pneumonia, sinus things, that all of that stuff, right? I would lose my voice, all of those things. And so it has slowed, all of that has slowed down with Plexus. But I ended up in December of 2020, I ended up with pneumonia, and I was like, man, I'm just not doing this again. So I made a decision in November of 2021 that I was going to take, because I felt like my body needed it. And this is just you just figure, you start to learn your body. Okay. So I can't give you a definitive on this, but I just figured myself out. I take 2 X Factor Plus. I started taking 2 X Factor Original, because here's the thing. The 2 X Factor Plus are the minimum daily requirement that the FDA or the government came up with. That is, and I'm just like, okay, great. That's the minimum. All right. So I decided that I needed more for what I wanted. And then I also started taking 2 Immune Plus. And I tell you, I have not been sick since then. So, I mean, I think this is probably the longest stretch. What are we at? Like almost 2.5 years. And I like, that's phenomenal. Like nothing. Lisa, what?
Why would you take the regular X Factor instead of taking more X Factor Plus?
Because they actually do different things. And there are a lot of people who really like original X Factor too, even though X Factor Plus is superior. There are still some people who would probably do a knockdown drag out that they only like X Factor Original. So I was just like, well, I'm just going to take 2 of each. I don't know. It's just what I decided. And it just, I don't know. It just felt good in my body. Original X Factor doesn't have the minerals, but I don't know, some people will just argue with how good original X Factor is too. So I just decided I was going to take 2 of each. Yeah. And it probably is easier on a little bit easier on your system. You know, like I say, some people can't even take 2 X Factor Plus. Because, you know, their stomach just can't handle it. So I was like, well, that probably is, you know, even though I feel like I have an iron stomach, same thing. I just was like, I'm just going to do 2 of each. I just made a decision.
I know that the X Factor has aloe in it. Does the X Factor Plus have aloe in it?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And actually, I mean, since I have it here, and I have this saved in my notes actually, and I'm pretty sure that I shared it with in some group recently. Let's see if I can let's see. Now I probably can't find it. Okay, here it is. So you know what's so funny? I always wish, this is like total side note, I always wish I had a photographic memory. You know, I thought that would be so cool. Now I don't. But one of the things is I'm such a visual learner. Like I knew it was on this page on the left side on this column. Like I always remember where, like I can do that in the Bible too. I'm like, oh, I remember that passage was over here, but that's the extent of it. So it says, because the question is, what is the difference between XFactor Original and XFactor Plus? XFactor Plus is a highly potent formula with 23 nutrients compared to 10 with XFactor. XFactor Plus also contains 650% more bioactive forms of key nutrients than XFactor. XFactor Plus has trace minerals and added polyphenols for gut health benefits, but XFactor does not contain those. XFactor Plus still contains aloe and black currant. So they both contain that. So it's interesting. I don't know. I mean, maybe someday I'll try 4 of it, but for whatever reason, I picked that along with Immune Plus, because I'm telling you, I don't think Immune Plus, and I get it that we have so many products and people, you know, only have so much disposable income, but Immune Plus is such a superior product on the market. It's crazy. The mushrooms in it are just phenomenal. So let me just see the chat here. Okay. Yeah. So I think I've pretty much explained all of that. And I take them all at once. 2 XFactor Plus, 2 XFactor Original, 2 Immune Plus, and 2 Mega X. That's like my little afternoon cocktail. And when I forget and it becomes evening, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have so much to take. Well,
Can I ask one more question? Someone had questioned me about, does everyone need the methylation that's in the XFactor Plus? Like, you know, I know it's bioavailable and it's absorbable, and it makes sense to me that everybody should take that. Is there a reason why someone shouldn't take a methylated vitamin? Do you know?
Not that I know of from my knowledge. And again, methylated, it just means that it's in a form that your body can absorb and it doesn't have to metabolize it to get to it. So I don't know why you wouldn't take it. You know, why you wouldn't want something that's methylated. That's what makes it superior. Yeah. So, all right. Guess what? What do I have? 1 minute to spare. Okay. Does anyone have any other questions? Because I think we're good. We're at our 30 minutes. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to share. I love this, and I'll have to figure out what products we're going to do next month. So again, I'll load this to YouTube just like I did the E's last month, and you can share it with people because at 30 minutes, it works out well. So have a good evening, ladies.
Thank you.
Mhm.